Hello and welcome, friends. I'm James, and this is Opcost Games, where we help you find games that you love. Today we're continuing our Arydia campaign. We are on episode 5. I feel like our progress to date has been not fabulous, frankly. Been a bit of a rough start. We had some stream issues early on. On stream 2, we really only got to play for about a half an hour. And on at least 2 of the 5 streams, or 4, I guess, that we've completed so far, I got a butt kicking. I got absolutely demolished by the combat in this game. Seriously, don't die this time. Cosmic Beat, welcome in. Agreed. I am going to do my best. So, I will say, last time that we played Arydia, I was a little tilted at the end. I feel like the combat scenarios are clearly balanced around 4 players. And it's not to say that they're too hard, but it feels like an odd decision in a game that I would say oozes like craft and attention to detail. There's little examples on the cards about the NPCs you encounter and like little role-playing aids about their sort of mood and demeanor and all these sorts of things. And it seems weird that this fight is just 4 ants and a boss, whether you have 1 player or 4 players. And generally it doesn't that was off-putting. I don't think it's unmanageable, but I wasn't having fun. So I'm hoping that this is the redemption arc, and we're going to do better. So I have made a decision that I'm just going to cheese the combat as hard as I can, and see if that makes it more enjoyable, because I was, it's not like I was trying to play badly or something before. But I feel like basically if you stand and trade, you lose. Like, that's combat in a nutshell for 2 players, at least with the characters I have, is if I ever take a single hit, the combat is as good as over, I lose. So I'm going to avoid that to the best of my ability. We're going to do better. Don't think that's possible, for being honest. Well, anyway, we'll just moving on. So yeah, we're going to do the best we can here. And I made a little bit of a decision last time. I will say I have been enjoying the Arydia experience so far. I don't know if I'm in love with the combat system. The combat system seemed really clever at first blush. I think we'll scale into it and it will become really clever, but we've been kind of unlucky in a few ways. I feel like, having poked around a bit on BGG and whatever about other people's thoughts, I feel like we have some of the sort of weaker combat classes, at least early. The upgrades that we gained literally do nothing to help us in combat, which is really unfortunate. It's like a stack of 20 cards, pick one randomly. There's 1 or 2 that aren't useful. Both characters, we got the ones that aren't useful for us. So we're no stronger than we were. And just overall, it's been a bit rough out there. Now, there are some good things. Largely, I overlooked these. Okay? We get a little mechanism here to the shade. We get a little mechanism here to fail forward a bit. Okay, so when we die, this admittedly I did off stream last time. Every time Arydia has really clean, easy to execute save features that you could do when you rest or when you die. And last time I died, and it takes a little bit. It's one of my only misgivings about the game is there is a bit of bookkeeping, right? So I did this off stream last time for the benefit of saving some time. And anyways, basically you get these cards, which are boons, okay? Oh, I did not turn the card camera on. That is not going to be helpful. Let's fix that. It's not working. Let's fix that. the mouse isn't here. That's weird. Normally there's a mouse here, which I use to, mouse around on my computer and control things. And it's just, it's way the hell over here. Whew. Okay. Pro streamer, by the way. Let's fix this card cam. Why is it not? We'll try turning the card cam on as an idea. And I could have done that in studio mode so you guys could stare at my face instead of having to look at a black screen. Boom! We got it. We did it. It works. Okay, we're back at it. What's up, Board Game Ninja? I don't know about that. Power of the Funk, welcome in. All right, so boons. We're gonna use these, okay? Especially this one. We just got this, or not that one. We just got the large boon, but like these give us actions we can do, okay? Free action, which means we can do it whenever. An exile gains 3 health and 3 SP. Then put this back, so we basically get it once until we die again. Okay, up to 2 exiles basically gain all of their stuff. And the large boon, everybody fully restores everything. Okay, this one we didn't have before. We did have the other ones, and I probably could have used them, but didn't. So, I don't want to be like too, reliant on these. It would suck if combat is, we can do one combat, use up all our boons, scrape a buy, and then we're screwed for the next ones. But we're going to try and scale. We're going to try and do better. We scale. This is what we say in League of Legends when we're losing and we're behind. We lie to ourselves and we say we scale. We get stronger later. It's explicitly a lie in League of Legends. Maybe it's true here. We'll see. A big fat raid. Oh, did I miss that? Oh man. Holy crap. 1 minute ago. Oh my gosh. I am extremely sorry. Wow. How did I miss that raid? I have, you know what? It's because I was in the midst of fixing my card camera and my freaking bot is closed. Pro streamer, I just got started and today's the day that I get a huge raid and I'm having tech issues. So sorry for that. Shit. my apologies. Welcome in for that huge raid. Thank you so much. I'll give you a shout out here. The bot should have done it. It failed. I am sad. I feel terrible.
We got a real professional over here.
Pro streamer, by the way. That's me. So I'll give you a shout out in a sec. Or maybe one of the mods could do it. That'd be awesome. Those of you who just rated in, I'm James. This is Off Cost Games. Normally, we're a little bit more organized than this, but only a little. I'm just getting started, and it's one of those days. So today, we are playing a board game called Arydia. That's what we do here. We play board games. So I like to play tabletop games on the table with the physical pieces. And I am trying to commit to not buying any more games because I got a lot this year. So I'm trying to play through some campaign games. And right now, thanks for that follow. Appreciate you. Right now, the campaign game I'm playing is called Arydia. Arydia, the Paths We Dare Tread. It is a sort of open world RPG exploration game with a hint of combat. This is the 5th time we've played it. Fifth episode of this campaign stream series I do every Tuesday, and I have been getting my ass kicked. It has been a beatdown, like just consistently the entire time. So in any case, we're looking to make that a little bit better. Nice t-shirt, thank you. Hey, nice oldies. Appreciate that. Kalis, the original one, is my favorite game. BSG is one of the games I've logged like the most hours on. We used to play BSG like 3 times a week when we lived in a house with 4 adults. It was like the best board gaming experience of my life. So there is 131 people who just arrived. Yikes. Anyways, appreciate that raid. Thank you so much for this. Most of our raiders are French. I'm Canadian. Fortunately, I do not speak French. Wish that weren't true, but it is not. All the way of describing the game sounds like Plagueasm to my ears. Yeah, so Arydia is the game we are playing. Thanks for those follows, by the way. I got to be pretty close. I've been trying to get to 400 followers. I got to be real close right about now. So I'd appreciate a follow. And thanks so much for raiding in. Let's get into it. I am, there you go. Thank you so much. I am like, so I had just started up. I was having some tech issues. We're going to just set those aside. Let me give you guys a quick walkthrough of Arydia for those of you who just arrived. So Arydia is an open world exploration game. There is a lot of kind of decisions to make about where we want to go, what we want to do, and inevitably there's some combat to be had. We kind of have all of our usual fantasy tropes represented here, but we did some character building on the first stream. This is our first character. It's Drudar, the Slin Noodler. He is a bard, a weathered old bard, who basically sings songs, tales of Slake, the Cold Lunari Scamp, our rogue, and his kind of escapades, our escapades together. Okay, so we've got these 2 characters. They largely do exactly what you would expect them to based on their kind of classes there. Our bard is going to sort of buff and support us through song, and our rogue is going to do roguey things and stab people in the back and hide in the shadows and set traps and all that sort of thing. So the world of Arydia is shown on this world map here. We are currently exploring the basin, okay? We are exiles. Basically, for whatever the case, whatever the reason may be, we have been exiled from our home, and we are in essentially a competition to help people throughout the lands here. Okay, when we help them, we earn these things called squills. Okay, and it's essentially like a big competition amongst all these groups of exiles. Whomever collects the most squills gets pardoned. So that's kind of what we're doing here. And we are going to encounter, you know, people, NPCs that give us jobs or have tasks we can help with or need help or what have you. And some of the time that's going to give us, you know, squills that help us in our journey. Other times, just the, you know, the feeling of a job well done. So in any case, we are currently, I died last stream. We're just getting started for this one. And I am currently in the Keepwick outskirts, okay? This is a role-playing type game, so we do keep a little kind of journal about what has happened, just to remind us of important things that we don't forget. Also, an important feature of this game, it's a legacy game, so it changes as we play it. Decisions we make impact how the game goes. A good example of that would be we met an NPC who had recently, he was a merchant, he had been attacked, and we had to decide in the moment, he was asking us to provide him with a clean death. And we had to decide, do we do that, or do we try and heal him, or do we just ignore him and move on? And those decisions, through the use of a bajillion cards, have effects on the future state of the game. And this here, any of these spots are ones we've explored. This board has these funky tiles that can be kind of flipped around. And yeah, so all of this that we don't see here, we know it exists. We just don't know what's there, and it's new to us. And we can choose whether to go there or not. So we are currently here in the Keepwick outskirts. I'm kind of, where's our party marker? I threw it somewhere useful. So, okay, I don't know where it is. Doesn't matter. Oh, here we go. So I kind of cheated. Strictly speaking, we should be back here in the Exiles camp, but we know our first order of business is going to be simply to travel down here. So for time, we're just going to start in the Keepwick outskirts. And from there, these tiles have like certain ones, like the plains here, are just spots you can travel from. They don't really have anything on them. Other ones, like this one, show little icons on them about things we can do. So this allows us to explore the tile Big Six. There's a bunch of tiles in varying sizes. Whoa, almost spilled those everywhere. And these are, you know, how we're going to kind of experience the world of Arydia. We do some like sort of overmap travel. And then from there, we get things like this. So this one here says it's the farmlands. A couple quaint houses stand here on the edge of the farmlands. You smell the rich aroma of growing plants and notice a garden near the smaller house. There wasn't always a journal, leave me alone. I lost my journal at one point. So, okay, so we flip out our little farmland here. This is where we were last time. This is where we died. We're gonna try and do better this time. Are we gonna succeed? Not sure. Not sure. I'm skeptical. I think we're probably due for another ass kissing, or ass kicking rather. Woo. But we'll see how it goes. So, with that, did we give a shout out? I hope so. Not sure if we did. Anyways, all right. So, let's continue. So when we enter one of these spots, we came from Hex D4. So that basically means we enter the map up here. We got Drudar, we got Slake. We're ready to explore. Okay. Now these houses here are other tiles. Like this is small 11, small 12. So we can, you know, enter that house and look at the interior and so on. But we kind of already did this last time. So we sort of know what's in here and we're just going to skip that. We're going to go right to combat and hope we don't get our butts kicked. So for us, that means I kind of kept this ant antenna, which we collected. In here in this small house, there's a dude outside who's been transformed into a cow. Like it's a human body, but he's eating grass like a cow. And inside there's a cow who says he's been cursed and is, you know, actually it's a human stuck in a cow's body. And we've come over here exploring this area in order to reverse this curse and save this guy in the hope that maybe he might gift us a squill for our troubles. So we're going to wander over here to point of interest 21. I don't think so. My chat wasn't working for a bit. That makes two of us, Martina. So my chat not working was, you know, at a really unfortunate time. So let's fix that shout out. I feel badly for how much I fumbled that. But those of you who are here, join me in giving them a follow at the very least. It's the least we can do to thank them for that big old raid. So, point of interest 21. Okay, the quiet tomato patch. You're standing in a quiet tomato patch. You hear the click of insects as they crawl along the ground. The soft breeze makes the red tomatoes bob up and down on the vine. You smell the rich, nutty scent of dark earth. So these are all things that we can kind of investigate further. They're things that are bolded in the text above. We've done this already. And in fact, when we find this quiet tomato patch, we have this thing called a key. Keys are things we collect now that drive events forward later. So the key we have this time is an ant antenna. This was given to us by the cow, the human soul in a cow's body. And he said, use this in the tomato patch. Okay, so we found the quiet tomato patch. That's where we're at right now. And that means we draw event 29. The giant antenna in your hand vibrates. You begin to feel a falling sensation as the world around you grows to enormous size. So we are shrinking down to become like the ants. You gaze at the tomatoes the size of wagons and vines vines as big as trees. So we're going to draw small 13. And put this card away. So those of you that rated in that speak English, hopefully lots of you. I see that was a French channel. I'll have to check you out after stream. But I'd love to know if anyone has like a favorite game that they like to play or favorite type of game or anything like that. I'd love to hear about it. And with that, we're in a giant garden. Okay, you breathe in the earthy smell of the garden. A giant shovel sits abandoned. You hear scuttling noises from the north and can make out a large clearing to the south. So we're here in the garden. Okay, we can leave by going to that staircase. We heard scuttling to the north. We're here to investigate ants. And we know from last time, because we ran it down, we died last time. If we go this way, there's a big ass fight. There's a ton of ants there and they kill us. So let's be clever and let's try and go this way first. Let's go to the south. I should have paid more attention to that text the first time. Let's zoom this in a bit. I'm gonna have to fix that camera angle. We'll worry about that. That's a problem for future James. For now, we'll just keep going. So let's try exploring Big Four here. Let's move that way. And if I recall, there was like an ant NPC that it looked like maybe we could talk to, one who wasn't simply gonna kick our ass. So maybe there's a world there where this works out for us and we, talk them into the fact that we're helpful. We're not there to steal their watermelon. I don't know what it is. What do ants want? Trombone, thanks for that. Oh, look, Harry Trumpet is back. This time it'll be different. I love how you're just like solo keeping that up, Trombone. I appreciate that. I respect the hustle there. Okay, so we're going to line these cards up. We're going to make some space. This game is a table hog. Absolutely, without a doubt. Okay, so we're going to line these things up. The art matches and so on. We're now on this card. There's a point of interest and an NPC. So let's go check out this point of interest, I guess. A giant can. You're standing in a large clearing. There's a loud, rhythmic thumping noise just here. The walls of the stone well rise here, as tall as a building. Just to the west, you see a large mound of dirt. Okay, so just to the left, or to the west, is the NPC, right? He's an ant. The other ants kicked our butt. We don't know if maybe he's friendly. It looks like we can interact with him. But what's that thumping? The sounds of the world feel amplified. It takes a moment for the sound to resolve in your mind. Yes, it's the dripping of huge drops of water from the watering can just here. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we're so small, so minute, that a single drip of water from this can hits the ground and poof, shatters the silence and really resonates through the earth. All right, let's check out that well. Gazing up, you see an enormous wooden structure. After a second, it dawns on you. It's just the bucket for the well. Okay, well, what about the mound off to the west? What's that about? The large hill to the west must be the anthill. You see a large tunnel leading down into the ground. There's a giant green ant guarding the entrance. As you watch a few ants arrive from the south, carrying seed pods in their mandibles, you see the guard place his antenna on the pods and he lets the ants pass. Okay, So that gives us an RP point. We're maxed out on those anyway, so that doesn't really matter. So I'm getting the distinct vibe here that that guy is going to let us through. There's some foreshadowing that if we don't bring a seed pod, that this guy is not going to let us through. So it stands to reason that we need to go defeat those other mean ants, steal their stuff, and walk by this guy. We could try and talk to him, but we might end up having to fight him instead. I think we should go for it anyway. Let's go for it anyway. Let's let him tell us that, you know, I don't know how we communicate with an ant, frankly, but maybe he speaks English. Maybe he can tell us, you know, and not just smash us with a giant mandible. All right, can I get the card out? That's challenge number 1. It's a blind ant. Ah. Okay, so we got some options here. A giant ant is here, mucus dripping from its mandibles. Its eyes, however, look clouded over. It seems to stare through you as if it cannot see. It looks genuinely like, look, it's very drippy. I don't love that for us. Okay. The ant is guarding the entrance to the tunnel. You could try to pass by, or maybe it's better just to leave. Okay, so the question becomes, do we try to pass by? We have a rogue. He's sneaky. He can be hidden. He can sneak. Surely, this is our moment. He's been sitting here looking like, what kind of rogue can't sneak past a blind animal? Surely. What could go wrong, right? What could go wrong? We know the combat's really hard. Let's find an alternate solution. We're going to try to pass by. You attempt to pass the ant. It reaches out its antenna and... Do you have key 25? We do not have key 25. So the ant reaches out with its giant antenna and feels you. It becomes enraged and shoots mucus at you. Gross. I'm not particularly happy about that. Add threat 35 to the threat deck without looking at it. Okay, so the threat deck here, this is how enemies work in combat. Okay, we're gonna shuffle that very soon here when we get to combat. 35, and basically this is going to usually be something like this card, where it's going to tell us which foes activate, and sometimes they gain threat. Threat is a currency that the foes spend in order to take actions. Okay, so generally speaking, adding cards to the threat deck is bad. They're probably worse than the cards that are already there, but that's not like objectively the case. It may or may not be true. We don't know. So anyways, we'll shuffle that in, lose it in the deck here, and we'll call that a day. So, we cannot get past the ant. We're now covered in weird ant mucus, which I'm going to just not think too much about, and we're going to keep on keeping on. We're going to head over here to card medium 13. Okay. This time it'll be different. This time it will be different. Jack even told us so. Okay, so flower pots. Here you see large pots with flowers the size of trees towering up out of them. Ants as big as yourself are plucking seed pods from the tree-like flowers. Okay, that's what we need. We need seed pods, right? They turn and look at you as you draw closer, their mandibles clicking hungrily. That sounds awful. When you draw this, also draw and place Big 4 if you haven't already, and then draw event 309. Okay, so this is going to go here. We get event 309, which I don't remember what event 309 was. from last time. Maybe I screwed that up. Hey, John, welcome in. I feel like I absolutely forgot to resolve this last time. This is probably pretty important, actually, okay? So, escaping ant. As soon as the ants see you, the biggest one begins scuttling away. It appears to be fleeing toward the anthill. You have a bad feeling about what might happen if it reaches its goal. Yeah, we totally didn't do this. Hey, thanks for that follow. Appreciate you. Place an event token on the grid card of foe 3. I, of course, conveniently left the event tokens not here because we haven't needed them to date. So we're just going to use this coin that I have handy because whatever, it's here. Boom. Looks like a dryad. That's fine. It'll do. We're probably going to need these. These help us know which enemy is which. There are a lot of little bits and bobs to this game. Okay, so we'll now refer to it as Skitter. So this is Skitter, I guess. Okay. Okay, so it says, I guess we're kind of in combat here. Escape. When activated, spend threat normally, but Skitter ignores the AI card and instead targets NPC 4 and moves 6 steps toward it. If Skitter moves on to NPC 4, flip this card and go to failure. If you defeat Skitter before it moves on to NPC 4, flip this card and go to success. Okay, so we have one enemy to fight. I think, if I recall correctly, this is the hard guy who has armor. We're going to probably need these ant cards. But we definitely need this one. He is the tough guy. Okay. So, the way enemies work in Arydia is this is foe 35. So we grab all of the cards that say foe 35 on them. You can imagine there's room here on this card where we're potentially fighting a number of these. Okay. And all of them show that, hey, this is a soldier ant. This is a mob. Okay. It is going to have like a pattern on it, basically, where this is like, these are spots where we have to damage them. Okay. If we damage all of the spots, it dies. We're going to do that by using abilities which are like directional. Okay. So for instance, if I hit this ant with this dagger, depending on what the result is of my die roll, I might hit nothing if I roll a 1. If I roll a 2 or better, I'll hit one spot of my choosing. On a 12 or better, I'll hit that spot and one up and right of it. So like, for instance, I could hit this one and then this one. Okay. And on a 20 or better, I also get to hit one down and left from my current spot. So the significance of some of the icons here, if I pass through this orange icon, I get to do damage to these extra locations. And if I do damage here, that's their like weak spot, which is a misnomer, but basically it means something will happen. Usually they gain more threat. It pisses everybody off and they attack us more like aggressively. Okay. So what we're going to need for this is just the AI card and this one ant, because we're trying to defeat him specifically. Okay. So I think he only activates every time we draw a card that says that the ants activate. This is a little bit of an odd scenario compared to other ones we've done, but that's okay. These two spots, we're going to put a little thing. Those have armor on them, so we have to actually put up 8 points of damage on this guy in order to defeat him. Okay, and the first thing that's going to happen is the mobs are going to activate. So the mob activates. Okay. Lots of these just give them threat. He has 0 threat, but that still allows him to move. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots. Okay. Some of those spots show 2 little lines. Maybe we'll, you know what? We can just get rid of this one for now. Actually, I guess he's running to this NPC. Maybe we'll just keep it. Okay, we're almost done with his little face up there. Okay, but basically, some of these spots show 2 lines, like a thicker line between them. Costs more movement. We try and play fair. He used his movement as effectively as possible. So now one of us takes actions. Okay, we're still on... I guess we are here because we came onto this tile. We explored it. So we're right beside him. Usually we start with our bard. And we're going to do that. I don't know if we're kind of allowed in the rules as written to choose who goes first or whatever, but we're just going to start with our bard. So basically, we can take 3 actions. Those are shown with these 3 tokens. One of them is can only be for minor actions. That's things like moving and some of our skills. Most other things like attacking or those skills that we talked about, generally speaking, those are major actions. So we get to move and do 2 other things. It could also be moving, but usually it isn't. Okay, so we can play a song to, help buff our allies or debuff our enemies. We're not going to do that. We're probably just going to hit this guy in the face. Okay. So he kind of walked right up to us, right? He's right here. We're staring him down. This is him. It's a little hard to see. Well, the other token also is kind of hard to see, but in any case, you know what? Why don't I use the figure? Why am I using a token anyway? Why would it direct me to do that? And how did I get so distracted as to not just think, hey, I'm going to grab one of the figures from the box. That's him. He's the only guy we care about right now. Wait, am I doing this wrong? Is this guy doing something different? And all the other ants are also on the board doing the same thing? They must be. Okay, I think I set this up incorrectly. So that's the significance, is just being able to remember who's who. Okay, so we might have to kind of redo this. I think I got so distracted by these ants that I just made a kind of oversight there. When we put out the tile, we should be in combat. These 4 ants, probably they're present. Okay. This means we got a really unlucky draw, actually, is what this means. So let's just move some of this crap out of the way. I thought, hey, I'm going to have less stuff on the table this time and it'll work out better. And it turns out that that's actually impossible in this game. So let's put our ants out on the table. Because I don't think there's just the one ant and we ignore the other ones and pretend they aren't there. All the ants are present and they're going to try and kill us. Okay, so let's set this up properly. We've got a blue ant. That's this guy. That's our skitter friend. Okay. We've also got a green ant. That's this guy. We've got this hideous brown color. Also, these ant sculpts are really weird. I think because the antenna had to be quite thick so that they wouldn't like break or whatever. It got very spidery vibes to me, but that's okay. And then we got this pink one. Okay, so we got a bunch of pissed off ants. And we're just gonna like reset combat. We were here. Okay, we just walked up, we just showed up. That one guy's gonna run, but we resolve all the ants like normal. Okay, so importantly, we flipped out a card, mobs activate. The way that works is they have threat here, okay? And the threat is going to be, they spend as much of it as they can and it determines what they do. So, for instance, they are going to spend 0 threat. Are we losing yet? You know it. You know it. You know the best part, Jared? You missed the time where I got like a huge 100-person raid and didn't notice because I was dicking around with my camera and my bot wasn't working properly. So that's a fail. Been that kind of stream so far. Okay, so this guy is going to spend 0 threat. They spend threat collectively. They spend as much threat as they can. Whatever action they do, they all do it. There's 4 of them. Okay, this is the sore spot that I really struggled with, where there's lots of them. If you get unlucky, you just get 1 tapped. So they're going to attack the person with the highest health. They're going to move up to 6 toward that person and then do the incise action, which means they have to attack someone directly in front of them. They'll attack for 1, and they'll use this gray die, which determines kind of where on the body they're attacking. So generally, a little bit of everything, honestly. Okay? Like the yellow die is sort of like rats always use the yellow die. They're attacking like your feet, right? This is a little different. So we resolve these numerically, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So the first guy is this dude here, the green one, right? So he's just gonna, the highest health person is in fact our bard. He's got 7 HP. So this guy's gonna run up 1, 2, and in size. He's gonna attack him. We're gonna roll this die. And it's a headshot right in the head. He's gonna, the gigantic ant wastes no time, runs straight up to the bard and bites him in the head. What a day! Yeah, it's something. Okay. Ant number 2 is gonna activate, and he's also gonna try and attack the bard. Okay, so he's gonna go 2, 3, 5. And will incise. This guy is going to attack. He's going to try and bite at the hand, but we thankfully have a damp glove that is going to prevent that damage. So it is now worn out. It will not prevent any future damage, but it will prevent this attack. Okay, then our number 3 ant is going to activate. So he's just trying to run to here as fast as possible. Okay, so what can he do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's about it. I don't think he can get closer. Maybe he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe that's closer. I'm not really sure. And then this guy's going to activate. And this is one of the things where it's not clear to me how ruthless we should try to be. But I think this guy basically just comes and hangs out and he doesn't do his incise. He moves as close as possible. And overall, honestly, this is a really bad look. Right? If these ants are gonna ruin us, and we really got to kill this guy, but he has 8 HP instead of 4 like the other ones. It'd be great. We really normally want to kind of end one of these ants' careers and keep going. Eliminate one as fast as possible. I don't think we have the luxury of that this time. So, how are we going to do this? So let's figure this out. We can reduce threat or gain combo with a battle riff, which isn't super useful. We don't really need the combo right now. Okay. An unfortunate thing is that we're kind of poorly positioned, but that's okay. We'll work through it. We're just gonna focus on the win condition of killing this ant. Okay. We're going to ignore the other ants and hope that they don't die, because these guys are going to activate 6 movement each time. We only have a few turns before that guy makes it, right? I think we got to just focus on him. The alternative is we could try and kill this ant. Okay. We attack in a fairly useful pattern where we could probably 2-shot this guy. Maybe let's do that. He's right in front of us. Let's try and take one of the ants out so that there's less attrition, and then we'll focus on our hard target. So we're going to use our practice Tanto, and we're going to hit this ant directly in front of us, this guy. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll for charisma. Okay. We charismatically smash him in the face with a Tanto. Okay. And we rolled an 8. Okay. And we add our charisma to it. So that gets us +3. We have 11. We really want 12. So we're going to spend one of these RP points to gain +3. So we have 14, which means we get to do damage in a pattern that's like from like the top left kind of down through them. Okay. So I think that means that we can apply damage to this ant here like this. Okay. Which means like that we're passing through this spot and doing damage here. But because we passed through this like crit spot, we also get to do damage there. The patterns we have for attacking are relatively worthless. Okay. So that's one of the things that's been a struggle to date. But we're going to now smack him again, because we could do that a second time in that same pattern and put this guy down. Oh, whoa, wrong die. So we want to roll bigly, and we rolled a 5. 5 + 3 is 8. Even if we add, is the highest roll we could possibly get while not succeeding with our plan. Okay. So even if we add our +3, we can only do 1 damage. That would get us to 11. We need 12 to do 2 damage. So that sucks a lot. We're just going to put that 1 damage on this guy. We don't kill him. There's nothing we can do as a minor action that's going to do a damage. And that's all we've got left. We've got minor and free actions. So as a minor action, we're probably going to move. Okay. And we can move up to 3. We're just going to try 1, 2, 3. Moving away. So these guys have to like kind of scuttle on over to us in order to like catch up to us. We're kiting away, as it were. See if we can make this a little more on the actual board. Normally this camera is sliding. I gotta replace the battery in the phone that I use to control that. Okay, so unfortunately for us, that's all of our actions. I guess we could have used one of these chipped potions to gain that health back. Let's just pretend we had done that. Oh wait, that's a minor action. No, we couldn't. Okay, so that's our action, and foes activate every time. We alternate. Foes, one of our guys. Foes, one of our guys. So the foes are going to activate. We really hope this isn't mobs. Boss, or they gain threat equal to the number of people, exiles in the party. So they're going to gain 2 threat. It means they're going to do a meaner action. They're going to do the mandible action next time, which is like an AoE attack. And if they gain even 1 more threat, instead of doing the mandible, they'll do mandible +2, which basically one-shots our rogue. Okay, so here's what we got to do. We need to activate our rogue and make good things happen. Now, our rogue can do a lot when he's hidden, but he can only use his sneak action if there's no enemies in the 8 spots around him. So there currently are, right? This guy that we didn't kill is screwing us up. If we had rolled a 6 instead of a 5 on a d20, we would have been fine. Life would have been a lot better right now. But we didn't. So we're going to make do. We're going to use our free shadow step action. That lets us move 2 spaces. Okay? Not very exciting, but exciting enough for us to get over there. That's a free action. As a minor action, we can sneak. We're now hidden. We're still here, but the enemies they'll think that we're there even if we move. Okay, and it unlocks some other stuff that we can do. Okay, we can backstab, which does a ton of damage. We get plus 20 to our roll if we're hidden. We can also put out traps, which is what we're going to do. We're going to take a normal action to put out our traps. These are going to do some damage, and we have to place them like adjacent to us. We're going to put them like that. I think we can put them in the 8 spaces around us, not just orthogonally, but I don't know. We're going to assume yes. Okay, so then we could backstab this guy. We're still hidden. But a challenge with the backstabbing is that we're not in the right space to do that, right? We are not in a useful location whatsoever. So we're going to spend 1 SP to refresh our shadow step, and then we're going to use it. Because we're hidden, that lets us move 4 spaces, okay? And we can treat difficult borders as normal. So we could move across like these white things for 1 instead of 4. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4. We're right behind this guy. That was a free action. And then we could either remain hidden or we could backstab him. Now, backstab, I think, is the move. We want to put up some damage on this guy because he has a lot of HP. So we're going to roll for dexterity. We get plus 1 to this. Woo. We rolled a 9. Plus 1 is 10. Plus 20 because we're hidden is 30. We got a roll of 30, which means we get to hit like 3 spots in a line. That's what our backstab does. 1, 2, 3. Now, the ant card is not very vertical, so that doesn't help us as much as we'd like it to. But the good news is that we still get to remove one of these, okay? And then we get to still put up a point of damage. So we need to do a total of 8. We've just done 2. 2 is better than 0. Now, we've used up our combo point, sneaking. We've used up all of our actions. We're kind of tapped out. So, this is still here. We're going to resolve the next card. The foes activate. They gain 2 threat. Okay, so they are going to do their big, gnarly mandible action the next time because they will have at least 3 threat. But that's not until like next turn. At least we get to do stuff with our bard first. So our bard gets his 3 actions back, and we're gonna move him 2 spots forward. And the reason we're gonna move 2 spots forward, we gain a combo point, is because we have a stinger here, our weapon, which needs to have a range of exactly 2. So we're exactly 2 away from the boss, the guy we were fighting earlier, and we want to kill this guy before he races over and bites us in the face, and we die. So we're going to shoot him with our bound stinger. We get to roll for intellect here. We get plus 1. We rolled an 11. We get 12 with that. Perfect. Just enough to do 2 damage. It has to start from 1 spot and go in a particular pattern. We don't care about any of that because he only has 1 HP. So we're going to kill him. Great. What's less great is he gains 2 threat. This limit break thing happens. It makes me think of Killer Instinct. Combo breaker. Anyways, limit break happens if they get to 7. All the foes immediately activate, and they always gain plus 1 damage for the rest of the scenario. Basically, if this ever happens, we lose, because instead of taking 1 or 2 damage, we're taking 2 or 3 or 4, and like 1 or 2 hits and we're dead. We're down. So we got to avoid that, which means what I had intended to do was continue kiting and run away. But instead, we are going to try and reduce the threat value by singing a battle riff. Okay, costs us 1 MP. Our loot lets us roll a yellow and red die. And we're basically going to line these things up when we roll them with these notes that are shown on the song that we're doing here. And if we get 0, 1, or 2 successes, it's going to let us reduce the threat. We always get to reduce it by at least 1. We really want to reduce it by 3 because there is a 3 threat card in here. We keep like putting them together where it's a 2 and then a 3, and it basically has ruined the game for me. So I hope we haven't shuffled it that way again. Happened every time we've been through the deck. They've never not been stacked together, so they gain 5 threat immediately. But we're just going to stop complaining and we're going to roll our dice and make this happen. So, singing a battle riff, and we got 1 match. Okay, so this is what we rolled. And we need this bottom left square, the top middle square, and this one here. So we got one of them. So that lets us reduce the threat by 2 or gain 2 combo. We're going to reduce the threat. And we are out of actions again. So we are done. Foes activate. If this is the 3 threat card and our reducing of the threat did nothing because they still hit the limit break, I'm going to be really tilted. It literally is. It's never not been these 2 together. And it's like, honestly, it has, like, when the max card, like the max on the track is 7 and you get 5/7 of it and you have 1 turn in between those. That sucks. So anyways, they get to limit break and we probably lose the game because we were unlucky. All of our foes now do +1 damage. They also all activate. They're going to do a mandible +2 attack. So they will hit us for 4 damage, which will literally one-shot our rogue. We're back to being one-shot. Honestly, this combat system is not very fun. Huzzah, we did it. Same thing as last time. So they're going to activate in order. Okay. I think I removed the wrong one from the board. I think I activated these in the opposite order previously, but whatever. We'll just do this. Fixed. Okay, so this guy's going to activate first. He is going to hit as many targets as possible. In the event that he can't hit as many targets as possible, he will hit the closest one. So he's going to hit our bard. He's doing a mandible attack, attacking us with his gross mucus-covered mandibles. He's going to hit us on the right hand where we do not have any armor. So he hits us for 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. We have 2 HP remaining. This guy's going to activate, but he's just going to run, right? He ignores the AI card, so he's going to run towards the thing. He's going to hit our trap. It's the first thing he's going to do. And hit our trap up there. That's it. Flip the table. Agreed. Okay. So he's going to hit our trap. We're going to roll for charisma. We get +1 to this. We rolled a 15 +1. That's 16. So we're going to do damage up and left. So we can hit. Our trap is going to do damage to this guy here and there. He's half dead. Okay, we've done 4 points out of 8 that we need to do. That's pretty good. His next step, he's going to hit the second trap. Okay, we're going to roll for it again. Well, I'm going to call in that a 17. Okay, same thing. So we only need to do 2 more points of damage. Now, unfortunately, it's 2 points on the same spot, which means that it's going to take at least 2 attacks, unless we have piercing damage, which we don't. And he's going to keep running. That was 2 points of movement, 3, 4, 5, and he is done. I guess 6. That's technically closer. Okay, he is moving Got the camera in the wrong spot. He's moving toward that dude. We're no longer hidden because we backstabbed. And this guy has to activate now. And he's going to run over here. Is that impassable? No, it is not. And he's going to attack with a mandible +3 or whatever. He hits our damp glove, but that is where we took damage, so we are now dead. Because that is how combat works in this game, where we get 3 turns to win a scenario that is going to take at least 6 turns to win, and if you ever get hit, you lose. And we can try and kite, but we can only kite if we're not unlucky with the deck, and we've been unlucky with the deck every single time we've done combat. Now, we can still surge. We can take a full action like normal. If we heal, life's good. We continue on our merry way. If we kill this guy, there's a really good chance that we flip this and this combat ends. So that's probably our best bet, is try to kill the escaping ant. Okay? So we are way over here with our rogue, but it is our rogue's turn. Now, when we move up to 3. We can pay SP to move up to 5. Okay? That'll get us not close enough to matter. That'll get us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still too far. We can throw our throwing knife at the guy. That will do at most 1 damage. All right, I think we can just make this work. If we don't roll poorly. Okay? Which has been a problem historically. We're going to try and kill the dude. Okay, we also have our boon, our free actions. Let's not forget that those exist, right? We can just instantly recover everything, right? But we want to save those for now if we can. Okay? So, we are going... Oh, I guess this, they spent 3. We are going to take a move action. Okay? We are going to spend an SP so that we can move 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're then going to use our practice kunai. And we're going to huck. We just don't want to roll a 1. We rolled a 16. That would let us do 2 damage. But in this case, it doesn't. But it does let us get rid of this point of armor. Okay, we have to get 1 more hit in, and we're fine. Okay, we're going to spend our final SP. Or wait, no, we're going to use our final SP for acrobatics. After one of your actions, move 2 and gain a combo point. So we gain a combo point, and we get to move 2. 1, 2. And then we're going to just stab him with a dagger. Okay? And we rolled an 18 plus 1, 19. Not quite enough to do all the damage, but enough to do the 1 damage we need. So we did just barely defeat this guy. I don't know if we need to defeat the other ones or not. Let's find out. So, if you defeat Skitter before it moves on to NPC 4, flip this card and go to success. You strike down the ant before it can reach its objective. Sure that you've staved off something terrible. The other ants seem to lose heart at the sight of your strength. Set threat to 0. When combat ends, get rid of this card. Okay, so we just reduced the threat, but we didn't actually win the combat. We still have to defeat these other 2 ants. So, thankfully for us, they just gain a thing, and we're just gonna strictly speaking, I mean, we get a turn. We get a turn, and we can do what's called a surge. You can do those once per combat, where you basically just take a full turn even though you're dead. Or we could use one of our boons. Let's just do our surge. We've never done this before. Let's make sure we get it right here. Okay, so surge. Once per combat, when you start your turn KO'd, you may surge. Put a wear token on your exile's portrait. Stand upright. You may take your actions as normal, ignoring your KO'd status at the end of your turn, though you're still at 0, or until the end of your turn, rather. Okay, so you can only surge once per combat, but we're going to do it now. So we're going to put this on our portrait. We're going to surge. We're back at it. We're back at it. Because one of the things that's difficult if you're knocked out, you still take a turn. So basically with 2 characters, the foes get 2 turns for every 1 we get if one of our characters is down. So we're going to spend some time and energy here getting better, healing up. Now, there's nothing we can do that gains multiple health. And our loot range is only 1. So we can sing a song to heal us. Okay, you know what? We're gonna improvise. We're gonna use a chipped potion. Okay, this will mean we're not knocked down. We're at 1 HP. We're gonna get knocked down immediately soon, but not right now. And then we're gonna improvise. Okay. So either we can do damage to all foes in range, or we can all exiles in range can gain something. We're gonna choose damage to foes in range. Okay. Let's make sure we get this right. Oh, I see. We're choosing 2, 3, or 4 of the things on here based on what we roll. So let's we get a yellow and a red die. See how good of a song we can play. We got no matches because, you know, actually matching dice when playing this would just be fun and enjoyable. We'd get to do things. So I can make a foe take damage, or an exile in loot range can gain stuff. You know, we're just going to use this for healing. We're in loot range. We can gain back our MP and gain 2 HP. So we're at 3 health and 2 MP again, but we're almost out of actions. Okay. We've used our loot. Maybe it's worth using our loot thing. Let's re-roll that and see if we can do better, because we did as poorly as possible. We got 2 matches that time. So we get to do all of them. We also can gain an SP. A foe takes damage. I think that's 1 point of damage. It's not obvious. We pick, yeah, I think it's just 1 point of damage. We get to do all of these things. So we gain 2 health, we gain 2 MP, we gain an SP, or anyone, well, we don't have an SP to gain. That's okay. Oh, it's not MP we gain. It's movement. Anyways, we get to do a damage to a foe in range. That's the important thing here. So we're going to just bonk this soldier ant, and then we can move too. Oh, we don't want to be that. We don't want to be beside each other. You know what? Let's bonk this soldier ant, and let's move 2 this way. Oh, and let's move 1 that way. I mean, they're going to catch us either way. This way we can still shoot him in the face with our stinger. And if we roll a 20, we'll actually kill this guy. We get +1. If we roll a 19 or a 20, we got it. We did roll a 20. Oh, shit. Okay, so we've never had a natural 20. We've had lots of natural 1s. So we're going to end up killing this ant. Hey, look at that. It works both ways. Sadly, they will gain 2 threat. But this guy is dead. And something else happens when we roll a natural 20. But natural rolls. We gain 2 combo. Who cares? That's super not useful. I guess we should have 1 more combo than we did. But anyway, we killed the dude. Foes are going to activate. The mobs are going to activate. So this last guy is going to attack he's going to try and hit as many of us as possible. We might have just lost, actually. Because, yeah, I think we just lost. Because he's going to use his mandible action. He tries to hit as many targets as possible. He can move here and hit both of us. And he uses the blue die. And he does 4 damage. So this will kill both of us. So we just lost the game. Because we both get, like, 1 tapped immediately. He hits us in the top right corner, where neither of us have armor, and he does 2 + 2 damage. He one-shots our rogue, and our battered and bruised bard also takes 4 damage and has 3 HP. Ugh. The combat in this game is so ruthlessly punishing. Like, it's the same thing. It's happened to us almost every time. We draw this 2 and this 3 card back to back, and the threat track gets maxed out essentially immediately. The threat track trends upward, right? So it's usually at 2 or higher, okay? Because they spend it, but they like, they're either you're dead or they're spending it like 0 or 1, like 1 at a time, right? But then gaining 2 or 3. It's a net gain generally, right? So the threat track maxes out. They get a free turn when they already have as many as you, and then they do 1 extra damage. They functionally double their damage for the rest of the scenario. And it's like, hey, welcome in. It's surprisingly not fun. That I get to roll and I get a like fairly high chance of, that guy's dead now, right? And I could have like used my boon on a previous turn as a free action to heal past 3, I guess, or something like that. But this guy would still be dead. So we're going to like retcon this action because I'm not going through, like, I don't know how far into stream I am, but like an hour and 20 minutes. I'm not going through another hour and 20 minutes to do this ant combat for the 3rd time because we didn't roll well on the first thing and kill an enemy on the first turn. It feels like if you don't kill an enemy on turn 1, you're probably going to lose. And then, like, even with a natural 20 and whatever, the boon we get from that is basically nothing compared to, I don't know, man. Those ants are brutal. Yeah, like, I feel like you always come in during rant time. It's true. I think Max is just sitting there until I start ranting, and then he says hello. Okay, so we're going to pretend I had used one of my boons because I'm not going through this frickin' scenario again. These aren't like reactions. I can't use them when I die. But if I had used my small boon, I would have been at 6 HP. That means this card would be gone, but I would be at 2 HP, and Slake still got 1 tapped, right? He's still dead. In deeply disappointing news, it's Slake's turn. So he's going to use his surge action, right? He's going to do his once per combat surge. So he gets to take a turn like normal. He cannot heal. So this is his, like, you know, coup de grace. And if this guy activates, he's going to kill our bard and we lose. I mean, I guess we could use a free action or a boon as a free action. Probably should, so we don't lose. Let's just do that. Let's just use one of our boons. Now, do we need... We're really close let's keep our large boon. That is the huge big boy one. We'll use our medium boon. Okay. So up to 2 exiles gain 5 HP, 5 SP, and 5 mana. Okay. So we're basically back to full because we're new to the game. Okay. We did that as a free action on our turn. Now, we still need to kill this ant. I don't know if I can use a reaction after a free action. I think I can. So I gain a combo point and get to move 2. What does a combo, the threat break, do for us when we get to 7? Free action, spend 7 combo. Any exile takes an action without spending an action token, ignoring any combo cost. So it costs us our whole combo track, which is actually punitive, but we get to take a free action. So we can just attack this guy for free without using an action marker. So let's do it. We're going to roll for dexterity. Do you get a crazy reward? No, this is like supposed to be an easy combat, right? It's just that, like, look, if I was playing with 4 players, instead of having like 8 health, I would have 16 and I wouldn't be dead, right? But I'm not, and there's no balancing for characters, for character count, other than the fact that the foes always activate every other turn. Like one character takes an action, then the foes activate. But you can imagine if there was only one foe, even if they activated each time, like I can probably beat them. If there's 100 foes, I'm probably going to lose the war of attrition. The inverse is also true. If I have one character and they can one tap me, then a single mistake I lose. Even though I'm taking more actions, it's like really punitive, basically, right? If I had an army of 100 people, each individual player would get to do less, but I would kill the ants before they kill me, before they kill all 100 of us, right? So like this is a difficulty lever that's just not accounted for in any way. Like people will say, oh, you can kite the enemies easier, so you take less damage. So basically the balancing mechanism for having fewer people in combat is make combat unsatisfying because you spend your entire time running away. Ooh. Clearly just play all 4 characters yourself. Yeah, I mean, it's not that it's not balanced. It's that the one thing they do for balance makes like people who've played the game more than me say that it's even. I find that extremely hard to believe. It might change over the course of the game, but early combats are extremely hard. This character just dies in 1 hit. If I was playing as just him and I ever got hit, I would lose the game immediately, every single time, right? That's tough, you know? So I'm going to use my RP. We rolled a 10. We get +1 only. We don't need 11. We need 12. So we're going to use +1. We get to do 2 damage, and they get to be in a line up and to the right, which actually works out really well. We can hit this guy here, and then up and to the right that passes through his crit spot, and we get to put this there. Okay, we just need to do 1 more damage, and we have all of our actions still, so we can take a normal action and attack him. And we rolled a 3, which we don't care. It's not a miss. It's enough to do 1 damage, which means we kill the guy. He is dead. We did it. We survived. We had to use 2 of our 4 boons, a bunch of bitching, and we hardly made it. And it was the same problem as every single time, where this 2 and this 3 threat thing are just stuck together. I'm going to physically separate them, and we'll see if I can shuffle them back together for the 7th time. It's never not happened. But in any case, we did barely make it through there. We put this card back in the deck here. What else do we do? We just are happy in the knowledge that we don't get our asses kicked more. We've staved off something terrible, it says. So presumably the ant would have got all his cronies and a bunch more ants would have shown up and we would have just got absolutely rolled. You know? We pick up our dagger again. We're alive, but disgruntled. That's how I would describe myself right now. Alive, but disgruntled. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to keep on keeping on. We're going to be happy. We beat that combat. We did, like, somewhat cheat. We kind of retroactively used that boon, but I used it in the fair way where, you know, I would have had 2 HP. I'm okay with that because combat, honestly, is really hard. And I feel like I went and looked to see if I'm making a rules error, if there's anything else going on here that I'm missing. I think I've been deeply unlucky, which is usual for stream, but like this is that's the thing that I find kind of, does the second character revive after this combat or is he dead forever? I mean, I used a boon, which is like when you lose the game, you get these boons granted to you that are like once until you die again, until you lose the game again, that are like extremely powerful. So I use that to heal back up, basically. Normally, I'm not sure exactly what happens. I think you basically have 1 HP and limp home. But I'm not sure what happens if you don't, if you're dead at the end of combat, like one of your characters. But yeah, in any case, I'm super frustrated. Like I'm disappointed right now because I want to just experience this game. The world building is cool. What we're doing here is neat. The combat system has promise for being interesting, but it just feels like occasionally I'll flip out a card and that means I lose. And occasionally is literally every time we've done combat. And there's not much here where I can like play in a way that's satisfying and not have that happen. I could have simply run away, right? But that would have just prolonged the inevitable. I don't have a good way of running and doing damage. I don't know when the enemies are going to move. That's randomly determined by this deck of cards. The fact that like I just occasionally die because, hey, like this happened, I existed, is weird. Like it seems really odd to me that an early game combat is tuned so that the amount of damage that's likely to happen will 1 or 2 shot your characters, and there are 4 enemies, so you could take 4 hits in a single turn. And like I have my buffest character has 7 HP, and if like I'd have to probably play poorly for this to happen, but on that last like scenario there, I could have taken as much as 16 damage in 1 round. Like without any way of responding in any way. I have 7 HP. That seems bizarre to me. Like that's a weird way to tune it. Ever make a mistake, you die and lose. Combat's not the focus of this game, strictly speaking. It's more, you know, pitched as like a adventure game. Weird. And I keep thinking I must be doing something wrong, but I reread the rules. I looked up online. You're supposed to activate foes every time. They only spend threat once. They all activate. You're not supposed to put fewer out when you have fewer players. Like any of the obvious things that would tweak this aren't there. The upgrades that I received early in the game were really bad. They don't help me in any way. I got like both characters got an upgraded weapon that only helps me if I'm using that weapon and roll a natural 20, which essentially means that doesn't help ever. The characters I have are sort of like the read from players is that these are some of the weakest ones. And like that sort of thing. So I think I just sort of got unlucky, but anyway, rant over. Let's do this. Flowers, you take your bearings. It appears you're at the north edge of the tomato vines. Towering above, you see flowers the size of trees in their clay pots. Just to the north is a wheelbarrow the size of a sailing ship. So tell me about these vines. You look at the vines as big as around as a man. You're sure glad this isn't a blackberry patch. You remember the ants were doing something with the seeds of the flowers when you entered the area. You might be able to climb the stalk and get one. Oh my gosh, our earlier choices are going to help us. We can pay 1 SP to make an endurance check to try and climb. We have to only get 9. We get +2. Let's do it. We rolled a 13, 15. We did it. You reach the top and pick a small pod the ants seem to have been after. We gain an RP. And let's get +3 on a future roll. And we gain key 25. Key 25 was the seed pod we needed to give the blind ant who then mucused us when we failed to have it. So, seed pod. You've discovered a small pod amongst the towering plants. It appears to have been valuable to the ants. Okay, we know what we got to do. So let's do it. Let's go. Can I get this card in? Yes, I can. Okay. What I'm going to do, this. All right, so we did it. We got our seed pod. We're going to race down here. We can basically just skip over it. There aren't turns or anything. It's very forgiving in that regard. Did I leave the ant out? I probably did. I did. Okay, the blind ant. Do we have key 25? We attempt to pass him. He reaches out his antenna, and the ant touches the seed pod and stands aside, giving you entrance to the anthill. Draw and place small 14, and then discard this card. Okay, so here's the thing. You know how I've been ranting about how these ants are kicking my ass, and I'm having a tough time, and all this stuff? What the hell possessed me to think that going into the anthill was going to somehow make this better? I think I might be an idiot. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Got to live with that? We're at the entrance to the ant nest. As you approach the anthill, you mark how well crafted and clean it is. You wouldn't mind living here if you were an ant. That's it, or this is it. You're really going into their lair. You try and psych yourself up for what lies ahead. Each exile roll and gain stats based on check. Endurance. Okay. I rolled a 1, so that's a fail. I mean, I don't know if we can fail non-combat rolls. We're going to say no. So I gain 1 something, which doesn't matter. I can gain my SP back. And my other guy rolled a 9, plus 2, that's 11. So he can gain 2 things, which doesn't matter because he's full anyway. So, okay, into the nest we go. We're going to die. Okay, we're going to go descend to small 15. It's giving us a very obvious option not to do this, but like we don't have anything else to do. There's no armor we can buy. There's like we could go explore somewhere else, but we just end up in combat every time anyway. We might as well kill the ants, right? All right, so we're going, deeper and deeper into this lair. And now we need big 7. Surely there's not a boss ant or something like that. Maybe it's just like a little ant colony and they're going to revere us for being different and being brave enough to come in there. It's the antechamber. A cavernous chamber lies deep within the anthill. At the far end, you notice the largest ant you've seen. It is standing on what appears to be some sort of magic circle. At the start of combat, gain 3 threat We are so fucked. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. It's all over. What the hell was I thinking? Okay, so this is the same combat, but in addition to what we had before, there's also a boss. All right, so we're just gonna make some space here. We can run away. We can run away. Strategic retreat might be the option. But let's put these guys out. They basically just reset. You know, we killed them before. They're back. They're grumpy. This guy's still got 8 HP again. He's down here. Guy's down here. All right. Foe 38. Let's see how mean this big boy ant is. Oh, he is pissed. This doesn't, once again, I don't feel like this looks like an ant very much. But, hey. Grumpy ant, right? Extremely grumpy ant. His face is as big as the other ants. That guy is fucking angry. We are so dead. I've never been so dead. I've never wanted to be so dead. The sweet release of death cannot come quickly enough. We are boned. All right. This is foe 38. Better terrible end than endless terror. It's true. Yeah. Let it be over, please. The Enchantress. Oh, it's punny, too. The Enchantress looms before you, her black and gold exoskeleton glittering. It's distinctly green in the model, but that's okay. She appears to be drawing power from a magic circle on the floor. Does that mean if she moves off the magic circle, she just, like, spontaneously combusts? Because that'd be really cool. I'd be all right. Okay, so she has some armor. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spots where then we need to damage. But she's also got 3 armor, so we have to do 12 damage unless we do piercing damage, which broadly speaking, we cannot do. I've shuffled up the threat deck. Got the boss over here. This card we don't need for now. It's looking bleak, boys and girls. Let's run it down. What happens? All foes activate. Okay, listen, I'm just retconning this. I'm not doing this. Like, this is one of the things that we talked about in the very first stream I was playing. Right? There was a dude in chat who said he had involved in playtesting the game. He basically said, if you get all foes as your top deck card on the first thing, you lose. I'm in a boss fight. I'm not doing it. Like, that, like, I will literally basically be dead on turn 1 of this fight, having they activate first. I will have not had an opportunity to do anything. And, like, they're not going to kill me, but they're all just going to run to the door. And I'm going to basically be dead. I'm just going to pretend that that hadn't happened. We didn't get that card. If this is a 3, I'm going to be angry. Oh, Exhaustion. This is one of the ones we added into the deck because we suck. You feel pushed to the limit. I agree. I do feel pushed to the limit. The exertion has finally caught up with you. Active player. Lose 1 normal action this turn. So that's our Bard. That sucks balls. Then draw again. Okay. That's not fun. Stinging Slime. This is the mucus. Fuck. If we have to draw another... Oh my god. Okay. The ant slime runs into your eyes, causing you to fumble about. Place this card in front of you. For this turn, your line of sight is limited to 1 range. At the end of your turn, check your endurance. If it's high, you discard this card. Then draw again. I assume we're supposed to draw... Oh, draw again Okay, so we play our turn now. And then we test our endurance, and then it's the next foe's turn, I think. I'm going to play it that way. We have only 2 actions. We got both of the extra cards we added to the deck and the all foes as our top deck. Like, the super bad luck continues. Frankly, I don't even know how to play this in such a way that we have any hope of doing anything. We can move, but we can't move and actually do damage to any enemies on this turn. We have a bow with a range of exactly 2. So the only thing we can do is to say, move over to here and shoot that one guy, and then we'll just die, right? So I think we run away. We use 2 actions, our remaining 2 actions to move. We gain 2 combo points, and we go hide in the corner separately so we don't get mandibled. We then are going to check our endurance. We got a 4, so this card remains in our discard, and then it's the foe's turn. Mobs activate. So that's not the boss, it's everyone else. They have 3 threats, so they're going to do their mandible action, but we're far enough away that I don't think it's going to matter. They activate in order 1, 3, 5, 1, 2. Oh, not this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The ants are running over. I don't know about kiting. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so it's Slake's turn. He gets an actual full turn. The hell is he going to do? He can go hidden. He can sneak. We have combo. He's hidden. They think he's here. And he can move 3. 1, 2, 3, and he's going to put out traps. These are going to hurt somebody. And then he's going to spend his remaining turn running away and gain a combo point back. That was exciting. They think he's here, but he's not actually far from there, so it's not going to be very helpful. All right, what's the mobs going to do? They gain a threat. They don't move. Cool. So now it's our bard's turn. We're buried in the boonies and can not, like, I don't know how to function in a way like I should kite more according to Reddit, BGG advice. But like, I'm in a narrow corridor, I can't move through enemies, and I have a bow that has a range of this to them. Like, there's no way to kite. I can't do anything useful with my bard except stand and trade, which I know that if I do that, we die. So I ran away too effectively. I thought they were going to move further. I don't want to be beside this guy, but I don't know. There's nothing I can proactively do when I don't have like a move. I don't have traps I can put out or anything like that. And I can't shoot these guys. Like, if I take a move action, I can move 3. 1, 2, 3. If I take 2 more move actions, I'm close enough to shoot them. I could spend SP to do it, but I only have 1. I could spend my only SP for the entire combat, and then I can shoot 1 guy 1 time, but I have to be standing on this trap. So that's not helpful. Like, they're all just racing into me. I basically have to wait for this guy to cross those traps and then immediately kill him. So I'm going to waste my time just moving around, basically, and just split up so that we both can't be attacked at the same time. And then we're going to see what they do. Mobs activate. Okay, so the green guy activates first, but he really, I think they can go through each other. 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to step on this trap. So for the trap, we roll charisma. We rolled a 15. So that's going to do damage as the green ant. it can do damage here and then to that, which means we basically do damage to these two spots. He was out of moves. This brown guy's gonna go. We're kind of spreading out the traps, which is really not great. He's gonna go 2 and then hit that trap. And we're gonna roll charisma again. We rolled an 8. We really wanted a 12. We get +1. We're at 9. We can spend our RP. That makes it a 12. That'll do 2 damage. If they're at 2 damage, there's a hope that we could kill them with the next one, right? This is the brown one. What do we have to do? Up and left. If we hit the crit, this is exactly the wrong pattern. It doesn't really... Okay, let's take our RP back. We're just going to do the one. It doesn't help us meaningfully to do the other one. Okay, and this guy still had some move. Whoops. 3, 4, 5. He can attack. Oh, wait, no. Ooh, sorry. 3, 4, 5. He tries to attack, but this guy's not there. We're no longer hidden. And then our blue one's going to activate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he'll attack us. I guess they're actually... You know what? I don't think I spent their threat. I've been moving them 5, and they should only be moving 4. So, whatever. We'll leave it how it is. Call it even. And this guy's going to activate and go 1, 2, 3, 4. We just get further and further boxed in. Excuse me. These are not here anymore. So, our Bard was the last to activate. It's now Slake's turn. The only ones that have taken damage are not the ones that are closest to us, which is bad. This guy is our most likely kill. He's taken 1 damage. If we backstab him, we can do, you know, some more here. That's an option. Stab him in the back. We could also just huck our practice kunai at him. Okay. I think we gotta, like, cheese the unholy hell out of combat, or we just lose. So let's see. That did not help me. I was trying to see, can I... is there a way I can get past these guys? You cannot move through foes. So, no. Like, even if I'm sneaking or something, I can't do it. So these guys are just going to slowly chase us in a line and run us down, basically, as far as I can tell. This guy's unkillable. He's a tank. He needs 8 damage. So, as a free action, we're gonna use our SP to refresh our Shadow Step and use it to move 2. We're then going to attack with our kunai. We rolled a 10 plus dexterity. That's 1. So we got to use this because we need 12, not 11. That lets us do 2 damage. And like that. And then after one of our actions, we're going to use our acrobatics. That also costs us 1 SP. It lets us move 2 and we gain a combo point. We can move to here and we're going to attack him with our dagger. We rolled a 9, which is enough because we just needed to do 1 damage. That's going to give them 2 threat, unfortunately. But this guy is dead. So that's huge. We've eliminated 1 ant out of 5. 4 in a boss. Okay. And we've got 1 action left. So our options are we can move back so that these guys continue moving in a line, or we can like use this as our moment to run away. But there's a really good chance that we get cornered, right? If we run, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the best we could do. Or we could go hide in the corner. Now, generally they're going to target, because they have 2 threat, they're going to target as many people as possible. When they can't target lots of people, they target whoever's closest. So that would be us. That would be bad. Even though we've freed up a space here, I don't think it's viable. I guess, you know what, if we do our move, we gain one combo. That'll get us a free action. And we could either kill this guy, or we could use another, like, that action as a second opportunity to move. So let's try and take a move action. Okay, that gives us 1 combo, and we have 3 move. 1, 2, 3. So unfortunately, we can't get into position. We'd have to spend our SP to get here. And with our attack pattern, we can't kill this guy. So as a free action, we could attack him, or we could just not spend our SP. And as our free action, we'll take another move action. We gain a combo, and we get 3 more move. We can go 1, 2, 3. And if we wanted to, we could spend our SP to go 4, 5. Is that just putting us in proximity to the boss? 4, 5? Let's try that. I think I already spent the SP. I think we're still closest to most targets. We're 1, 2, 3, 4 away. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. At least we're kind of split up. I don't know. We're going to give it a try. We're trying new things here. Oh, the boss activates. Rad. Love that for me. Fuck. Okay. So the boss can spend 1 threat, which gives her move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spire. Target exile in 4 range. 2 damage. Exile adjacent to the target, 1 damage. And then flee 3, which I don't know what that means. So she's going to spire us. She's going to hit us with this yellow die. She hits us in our practice pants. Ouch. So we're going to block 1 damage, but we will take 1. And then what the hell does flee 3 mean? Well, you know what? We did our previous combat. We didn't gain our loot for it. We should have each gotten an XP. And I should have rolled for loot. We'll do that after. What is flee 3? The foe moves away from the target by 3 steps. So she basically attacks us and then runs away. What a sissy little spider. What kind of spider does that? Okay, so it's our bard's turn, which is suboptimal because our bard is kind of not in position to do impressive, amazing things. Our bard's about to get run down, I think. The biggest problem is that this guy's extremely strong. He has the armor. He takes 8 compared to, he's twice as strong as a normal ant. But he's gonna keep on coming just the same. So, how are we gonna do this? They are likely to use their mandible thing where they attack as many people as possible, but they only move 4. So let's try and abuse that. I mean, he's going to get screwed if they use their mandible. But we're going to move 3. We're going to shoot this guy with our bound stinger. We get 15 plus 1, 16. Almost enough for us to make it into the 20 and do some cool damage, but not actually enough. So we do damage in like a line, essentially, straight up. So we're going to hit this and we're going to remove that armor. And then we're going to take another move action. And we're going to run like back into the corner where we were. We're just like kiting back and forth. Okay, all foes activate. That's bad. So, the green ant goes first. The boss goes first. My mistake. So the boss spends threat, which also means that they're going to move further, which is really bad for us. The boss spends 1 and does the same attack they did last time. They're going to attack as many as they can, but basically they're going to move forward, attack Slake in the same spot in his practice pants for 2 damage. He has 1 HP left, and then he's going to run away, hide back in their, spidery corner. Okay, and then the green guy will activate. He's going to move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Blue will activate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and attack with a mandible. Now he doesn't get mandible plus 2, thankfully. Actually, no, wait. Sorry, he's attacking in size. Doesn't make a difference functionally, but that's okay. With his little incisors, and he hits our damp glove, which is busted. So we still take a damage. And then the pink one's going to activate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and doesn't get close enough. With the mandible, we would have taken damage, but she's doing the incise action and cannot do that. Sadly, our bard is in problem territory where he's surrounded by these dudes, and he is not the one who gets to go. It's now our Slake, our rogue's turn. So our rogue is going to spend 1 to become hidden. Okay, they get to move 3. 1, 2, 3. They can pick up and arm their traps. I think that's a normal action. Costs us 1 SP. We're out of SP now. That sucks. And as a reaction, they can move to 1, 2, and gain a combo. They only have 1 action left, and I feel like I think I used this earlier, and I just didn't note that I had used it. So I feel like we're going to take a minor action and gain an SP back. We're going to stop and eat a sandwich. The only reasonable option here. The boss activates. The boss, there's no threat. The boss is going to move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. She doesn't have anyone in range with her spire, but she's going to grant 2 threat. Okay, it's the bard's turn. What the hell is our bard going to do? I mean, we're kind of stuck in a corner here. We have the bad boss mob, or not boss mob, but the stronger ant right in front of us. We can kind of get out around. This could be a good time to run, potentially. Oh, I guess, you know what? She would have actually attacked our hidden, not done any damage, and then we would no longer be hidden. So we're revealed over here. That's bad. We don't have a ton of AoE damage potential. And our strongest weapon is our stinger, our crossbow. We need to be exactly 2 away in order to use it, which is clumsy. So I think getting our combo track up to get free actions is the 1 extra action bandwidth is helping us to do some damage and stuff. We should kind of keep working at that a little bit. But I don't know. I mean, we could stand and trade with this guy. But if we hit him twice with our practice Tanto, he'll still have 2 HP if we do perfectly, which is very high potential that we fail at that. Okay, we could improvise, and that lets us heal and move and all sorts of stuff like that and do damage. That might be worth it. That might be worth. Our improvisation is probably our strongest skill, right? Piercing damage shows blue. Yeah. Okay. So, it would also let us be here, which means we can move to perfectly use our practice Tanto. So let's try it. We're going to improvise. We're going to spend 1 MP to play a song on the old lute here. Okay. This can only buff us, not our friend, because we're not close enough. We need to actually succeed. We got 1.
Drink something.
Drink something. Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right, we got 1. So we get to do 3 actions. So everything but 1, which is great because we actually can't take SP. So we can heal 2, we're back to full. We can move 2, and 1 foe by us takes 1 damage. So, let's have this guy lose his armor. And we'll move 2. And we healed. So we can almost kill that guy now if we stand and trade, but we still can't. So it's probably better for us to move to here. And then we either move again. I think the problem is if we move again, we either get killed by the boss attacking both of us, or these guys move towards us. We can't just spend our entire turn moving. So I think we got to take this opportunity. We're at 2. We're tanky. We're the tankiest of the bunch, and we hope the mobs don't activate. And we're going to use our bound stinger to shoot this guy. Or, I mean, we could use our bound stinger to shoot this guy, but the problem is that we only kill him if we get a 20, which is extremely unlikely. Let's just shoot the blue guy. 14 plus 1, 15. So we get to do 2 damage in a straight line vertically, which wouldn't have killed this dude. And we don't want to give them extra threat. What's our... Yeah, there's not really a great way for us to apply this damage, honestly. We'll just do that. And he's a little bit closer to dying. The boss activates. So the boss is going to spend 1 threat, move 5, 2, 4, 5. Targets 1 exile in 4 range. He's targeting as many as possible, so he'll target Slake because he's closest. And he downs him because he does 2 damage. Slake is down. And then he's going to flee. I guess he would have fled. Fled? This way. This way. He was here? No, he was here. Whatever. He'd be there. Okay. That sucks. It is Slake's turn. We're going to use our Surge ability once per game for a round of combat. He has a normal round of combat as though he was just, doing normal things. He can't heal. We can heal him later, but we don't have a way to heal him now. But as a minor action, he can sneak. He'll spend a combo point. He gets 3 move. He has the wrong attack pattern to like backstab these guys. These guys are like, all the enemies we fought are narrow and wide, and we don't have any attacks that go like horizontally, which is really kind of frustrating, honestly. So what do I want to do here? I could backstab or something. I don't think that's going to work very effectively. I think what I want to do is I want to put out these traps. And I have one more action. I mean, I'm down after this. I might as well use it to do something, you know, dramatic. I'm hidden currently. I guess I could use my reaction. I gain a combo point. I get 2 points of movement. I can't kill any of these. I mean, yeah, I can't kill any of these guys. But I could just stab this guy in the face with a backstab. We roll a natural. I'm re-rolling that. I don't have the patience for every fourth roll is a natural one and you miss. I'm not doing it. Anti-fun mechanic. I think this die, that's like, I've rolled this like 20 times and comfortably a quarter of them have been ones, right? In any case, we hit this guy for 1 damage. I don't care. I will openly cheat instead of do that. I'm like, yeah. Anyhow, I can't heal in any functional way or anything else. We're just dead. Ugh. We put out some traps and we died. What are the enemies going to do? Gain 3 threat. Our favorite card. Okay, so now it's our bard's turn. And we're actually at a point where we can do something useful because the enemies didn't move. We could probably kill this guy by using our bound stinger. So we're going to do that. We're going to use our stinger. We rolled a 19 plus intellect. That's 20. That means we get to do our 3 damage. Unfortunately, there's no way to actually apply that damage and kill this guy in 1 hit, but we do get to do 2 damage and they gain 2 threat. Oh, hey, look, we're about to lose this scenario because they gain a ton of threat. So I can either kill this guy or I can try to reduce the threat track. I don't think I can reduce it enough. Usually I have to get 2 matching things, and I've never like reduced the threat by more than by 1. I can do one or the other. I can either kill this guy or I can try to reduce the threat track, but reducing it historically has not been successful. What I really need to do is improvisation, but I have to be in loot range, and my loot range is only 1. I should have died where I was. You know what? I'm retconning that, pretending I died there. And I'm going to take... if I do the improvisation action, I can't kill this guy either. I think I can administer this potion to an ally beside me, I think. So I'm going to attack him with a bound stinger. 18. We do 19. This guy's dead. We killed this blue dude. Okay. And I'm going to give this potion to my friend Slake, who's now back alive with 1 HP. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to run away. Because if there was a time for a boon, it's right now. Right? We're going to use our large boon as a free action. All exiles fully restore everything, essentially. Right? Maybe I should have tried the threat track thing. I didn't. Okay, we're all back up. Our armor is even fixed. We are failing forward. But that means I have one more minor action, which I'm going to use to move. Can't not be in range of the boss. It's just the way it's going to be. All right, mobs activate. So they have 6 threat. This is actually good for us because they're going to spend it before it busts over. They're going to spend 3, which sucks because Slake's dead. They're going to attack as many people as they can. They can't attack a bunch. So the first one to go is this guy. He's going to attack with a mandible +2. So he's going to do 3 damage to Slake with this blue die. We block none of it. We're down to 1 HP. This pink guy is going to walk through this trap. Trap will trigger. 13. So it's going to hit him twice. And either we ignore some of that damage or they gain 2 threat. I guess they're going to gain the threat eventually anyway. So... Okay, and then he's going to attack and Slake dies, right? They never miss. And look at that. We used our strongest ability in the game, our boon, and then we just immediately got one shot anyway. So that sucks. Slake's dead. The boss doesn't do anything. Both of those guys have activated. We still have 1 trap. This guy's down here. He's still hot corpse. And it's his turn. So foes for the rest of combat will activate twice. Basically, because we can't do anything on his turn. Which is ridiculous for the record. We could use his rambunctious free action to increase threat by 2 in order to heal him, but then they get their little limit break thing. And that's really bad. Then we for sure lose this combat. I think we've lost anyway. Like, there's no way that I'm going to make it through like this pattern. I mean, I in theory, I could heal him, but basically he does nothing. And the mobs go again. Well, the boss is going to wander over. So she's going to spend 3 threat. Gets Spire +1. So she hits everybody. Doesn't matter. Joke's on her. One guy's already dead. So she's going to do 3 damage. And she hits our left hand. We take 3. And she doesn't flee. She just hangs out there. And then it's our turn. Our only option here, we gotta use our improvisation. So we're going to take a move action first. Move to here. We're going to use our improvisation. We're going to play a nice song on the old lute. We got 1. We get to do 3 of the things, which is okay. That means we can make 1 enemy adjacent to us take a damage. That can be this guy. He's dead. They gain 2 threat for it. But he's dead. So we've killed 3 of the 4 mobs. We can give somebody 2 HP, so we'll heal Slake, so that we're not fighting alone. Now, unfortunately, if the mobs activate, he's just gonna die again, right? But an exile in loot range gains 2 movement, so we can grant him 2 movement as well. And then we're going to spend our final action. If we could attack horizontally, it's the same thing. If we roll well, if we get a 20 or higher, we can kill this pink ant, which would be really great, but is exceptionally unlikely. So we're just going to move. That lets us... Oh, we can only move 3. It doesn't get us to our combo limit break. We get a free action. So I guess what we could do is we can move over to here and well, no, because I'm just thinking, oh, we could attack her, but as a free action, but that doesn't... I want to be here and attack her. Okay. We'll spend 1 SP, our only SP, to get to here. And then as a free action, we'll use our bound stinger to attack her. And we got a 1, a natural 1. We're just decided we're re-rolling those. We got a 3. Okay, we get to do 1 damage to this ant. Okay. And we have 0 combo. And they get to go. They gain 2 threat. They're at 6. They're about to limit break. It's going to be a disaster. But in good news, it is Slake's turn. He is alive. And that means that he can go kill this girl. So he can spend 1 SP. Actually, I don't think that matters. He can move. We'll gain a combo. He'll walk over here. He'll attack her with a dagger. 20, a natural 20. Imagine. She's dead. We did it. Now we just have the boss left. But I feel like we're going to die. And I don't know that it's going to matter too much. So we're going to try and hide. Or sneak, rather. So we're now hidden. Boss thinks we're over here. And we can move 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to take another move action. And go lurk in the corner. All right. I think the boss is just going to get buffed mightily here very soon. Okay, we got the boss card. So, boss is going to spend 3 threat and has her Spire +1 all. Okay, so all targets that are damaged by it. Not just, she doesn't just hit everybody. So she tries to hit as many as she can. But she has a range of 4. So she just moves to here and hits Slake for 3. No, wait, she doesn't know that Slake's there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if she has line of sight to our dude. We're going to say she doesn't. She tries to hit our hidden guy, and he's no longer hidden. And he's just standing beside her. But it's our bard's turn. I feel like we're playing extremely fast and loose with the rules and kind of openly cheating and still barely making it work. Anyways, we need to split up and not be in the corner, I think is what we need to do. So we got to take a move action. 1, 2, 3. We're going to take another move action. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to shoot her with a bound stinger. 4. We're going to do 1 damage. Joke's on you. Gross, ugly spider thing. I want to do this in such a way that I can min-max later. Based on the weapons that I have. I'm trying to figure out, like, it has to kind of start at the bottom. I don't know that it matters. Honestly. None of these are, the movement patterns, I think all the other characters are like really good with attack patterns. They have different attack patterns, and the attack patterns we have are basically exactly wrong. We can almost never make use of crit, and usually what would take, if we turned it or could attack horizontally, what would take like 1 attack or 2 takes 3 or 4 or 5, right? It's almost embarrassingly bad. All right, all foes activate, so that's going to be the boss, which means she's going to spend her 3, and she's going to attack target and exile within 4. That's going to be Slake. Slake's going to die. Because she gets +1 and she always hits him. So, hey, he's dead again. Okay, Slake's dead. And it's his turn. So we get to do nothing. They gain 2 threat. We can try and run over there and improvise to heal him back up, I guess. So we're going to move. 1, 2, 3. We don't have any SP, so we can't move further. We have to spend... I guess moving, that gets us a free action. Our free action is going to be to move a little bit closer. Do another move. And then we're going to take improvisation action. We're going to spend 1 MP. We only have 1 more left. This is like the last. We can do this 1 more time. We rolled and we got 1. So we get to do 3 of the things. We can heal Slake for 2. We can do a damage to the boss. So sure. You know what? Let's just knock this off. This armor off. Let's do that. Okay, and then we can do 1 more thing. But we don't want to be nearby. Like if she'll just kill us, right? She'll Spire hits adjacent enemies and she has enough threat to do it. So we have to move. We don't want to, but we don't have any practical choice. Oh, and this guy's standing up. All right. The boss activates. Oh, so she just kills Slake. Slake's dead. We did our only thing that we could do. He gets a turn and can do nothing. So she activates again and she's going to attack us. I guess she had 0. So she gains 2 threat after spiring us. And she hits us in the right hand for 3 damage. So we have 1 HP. And we just have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to her. And we get a turn every 2 foe turns. So this is looking over. Best thing we can do is we can hit her with our round stinger. We did 15, 16, so we get to hit her for 2 in a row from the bottom. That means she gains 2 more threat, but we do get to put out 3 damage for that hit. And then we can do it again. I mean, I don't know, we can try and just run away, but she has enough movement that every time she activates, she hits us, and she'll just hit us for 3. We can use our potion that heals us for 1, which is stupid. It's not even worth doing, right? 1 HP, a third of our turn to heal back what we're going to lose next turn is not worth it. So I think we just stand and trade. We got a 5. Plus 1, we got 6. We can't even make that something more than 1 damage. So we do 1 damage. We'll just pop this armor off, I guess. Boop. Strictly speaking, I don't even know if we could do that. I don't think we can. I think we have to apply this damage instead. Because it's really restrictive about where the damage has to start from. She gains 3 threat and gets plus 1 damage for the rest of the game. And activates, and she hits us for 4, and we lose. All right. We died again in combat again with me going out of my way to cheese. I cheated. I re-rolled all 1s. We got rid of the all foes threat from the top of the deck. Anybody who says you can just kite with fewer players in this game, 1, that's not satisfying to do, and 2, has never actually played this scenario ever. On the very first turn, we're in a corridor where we can either stand and trade, or we can run away, and those are our only options. We can't kite because we can't get past them because they're blocking the hallway, and you're not allowed to ever move through foes. This is exceptionally frustrating because I feel invested. I want to play this campaign. The combat system is interesting, but it's not fun. All of my characters just need to spend extra actions in order to kill things, where if I could do slightly different things, that wouldn't be true. And I'm sure if I played different characters, I'd be able to do slightly different things. But I don't want to change my characters. I don't think there's a way to optimize my actions. We've only been able to level up one time. The only way to get more experience is to continue making it through combats. There's nowhere we can go to buy armor or otherwise get stronger. We used all of our boons and we just get absolutely run down every time. We've been exceptionally unlucky with the card draw, but even like avoiding that where, you know, that didn't really happen this scenario. Like, do I want combat to feel close? Sure. Do I want it to be that I die in one hit multiple times per combat because I've resurrected myself and then I don't even get a turn before I just simply die again? No, like that's not fun, right? And it feels really bad because like I'm at a point here where I don't know what to do. Like this combat system at its face with the way that you get to, you know, you're doing actions that like this, right? They're like directional, right? And it's like a little mini game where you're applying that damage to these things in like a particular way. That's cool at its face. All of my characters do damage vertically. All of the mobs are horizontal. I'm almost always wasting damage, and there's no way that I can actually apply it in a way that feels satisfying. It's like every single time, oh, I wish I was just doing something else, right? And it's not like, oh, occasionally I get to do this. Like, I think we applied 1 or 2 bonus damage in this entire fight. We did like 30 damage. There's like 10 ways to do it. We got 1 of them. Not because I'm playing it poorly, because the rules prevent me. You can't rotate it. You can't change your weapons. I can't even buy a different weapon to try something else out. I just am forbidden from doing it, right? And like the single thing is like, if I was playing with 4 characters, we would have won this scenario easily, right? I wouldn't have simply died every time. Yes, each individual character would have gotten to do less, and maybe I would have taken more AoE damage or whatever, but I would have simply had more of the most important resource, which is health, and like I would have had more opportunities to get knocked out and then surge. And if I use a boon, the boon is, you know, playing with 4 characters, it's twice as good as the boon I get right now. The big boon applies to all of your characters. So it's simply scales linearly. The more characters you have, the more you get from it, right? And it's just like, that's hyper unsatisfying. The idea that alternating combat, 1 character and then all of the foes somehow makes it even across player counts is false. And the idea that I just need to kite more is also false. And even if it were true, I don't want to spend combat running away where I have to take 30 turns to attack 3 times because I just have to cheese the AI or I lose. Like, this is such a surprise to me. It is bizarre that to me that just at its face, early combats in this game, most characters will die in 1 hit. That is a wild way for the game balance to work, and like is deeply unsatisfying, especially as a new player, right? I will be the first to admit I could probably do my combat better. I absolutely, unequivocally could position better or use my abilities in a way that allowed me to defeat this, or to perform better at least, right? But I'm like 10 hours in. I've done multiple combats here a number of times. It's super. If there's a way for me to play this better, it's non-obvious or not satisfying, right? And it's so objectively like punitive that I feel like it's the single most likely thing. Like, if you look at the BGG rules forum, there's a lot of like when people are talking about combat and there's lots of people talking about how it's not that bad, and like the game designer Cody Miller, like he replies personally in a lot of these threads like, oh, are you making sure to activate all of the foes? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? And I'm doing all the things right, but I think there's like common easily made errors that would make this a lot easier. But like playing the rules as written, like it's super punitive. Oh, we top decked the 3 and the 2. So now for the rest of combat, everyone can one-shot us. And if we ever get one shot, we lose. And they can move almost across the entire map. If we want to move, to outmove them, that's the only thing we can do on our turn. We have to spend our entire turn moving, or we cannot move further. The map isn't large enough to actually do that. And if my entire turn is just running away, I'm not having fun. Right? And there's something like missing here. And yeah, it's just like, I don't know what to do. I feel invested in this campaign. I want to play it more. I like the idea of the combat system. It does feel like if I had a couple more pieces of gear, a better weapon, a little bit more armor, that I would be able to like make it further in combat and survive. But like, I can't get that. I can't get that unless I defeat the combats that are in front of me. And like, I find this frankly remarkable, because this game is sort of notoriously like I have to be doing something wrong. That's the only thing that makes sense, because like, I don't believe that the difficulty is scaled in this way. I don't think that this would be approachable to the vast majority of players as it stands. So I have to be doing something wrong, but I don't know what it is. So I am going to try and read the rules again and see if there's an important thing I'm missing about combat. Dig into the rules forums. But basically the rules forums are people that say that the combat sucks with 1 or 2 players, and apologists who say that this game is the best thing ever and you just are bad at it. And combat's actually balanced by the fact that turns alternate. And there's no in between. You're either like, combat is easy and fine and great, or you suck at gaming and the game's the best thing since sliced bread, etc. And there's like very little in between. What's Dad playing has been doing the campaign multiplayer this month. That doesn't help you. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, like, I went, like, the game has combat examples that are like the rule book's like 30 something pages, and there's like there's more material or equal to the entire rules as like combat examples that you have to play per class. I went through them on stream for both classes. I don't think I'm getting something wrong. I've read the FAQ, I've revisited the rules, I've looked in the BGG rules questions and all that sort of stuff. I don't think I'm getting something wrong. I think to some degree, objectively, we have been quite unlucky with the threat deck and the draws that we've had. The impression I get is that it's supposed to be this push-pull system where threat goes up by 3 and then down by 2, and then up by 2 and down by 1, and then down by 1 again, and then up by 1, right? And just sort of And I mean, admittedly, that's something I'm not taking into account. There are some cards that add threat based on the number of exiles. That would scale the difficulty towards being harder, but there's 3 of those in the entire deck, and they only resolve in fights where there isn't a boss, right? So that wouldn't have been relevant, or you've already killed the boss. So generally, it wouldn't have been relevant here, right? But that kind of teeter-totter, or like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, in practice doesn't feel like it usually happens. The mobs activate most of the time, you get swarmed, and you die. And that's it. It doesn't feel tactical, it doesn't feel clever. It feels like there's really good potential here, but that it isn't realized because there's very little you can do to not just end up dead. And I don't know. Like it's so ridiculous that it feels like I have to be doing something wrong. But I don't know what it is, right? And I've looked. I'm hours into this. I've been through the combat examples. I've looked at the rules for them. All it's done is confirmed that all of the things where I think like, oh, it'd make more sense if we did it this way. No, you're not supposed to do that. You are supposed to do it this way. There's always 4 mobs, whether you have 1 person or 4 people. There's always 4 enemies. And that means that you could lose on turn 1 if the mobs activate because they'll attack you. And if more than 2 attack, or if at least 2 attack you, you went full to dead and you never got to respond. And like that's just the way the game is supposed to be, which is shocking to me, you know? Anyways, I feel like a strong contingent of the people who feel really strongly about this game are playing this game with 4 players. And I think with 4 players, this would be a lot better. But I have exactly no interest in playing this with four hands solo. 2 is already enough. This game consumes the whole table. It's like it's not the worst game I've ever played in terms of like bookkeeping or whatever, but it is far from the best. There are a lot of decisions here that mean you're moving around a lot of pieces, right? Today on stream, I'm 2 hours and 40 minutes in. I cheated and started on the spot I needed to be on. I did 2 combats. One I won and one I lost. And it was like we fully resolved it. We were down to the bitter end. The boss only had a few more health left or whatever. But like we achieved almost nothing as far as exploration goes. We didn't go to any tiles on the map. We never used the travel deck. All we did was fight. And that took us like multiple hours of gameplay to do like 2 fights, right? Yeah, maybe I just made bad choices in terms of the classes I picked. I mean, the Bard is admittedly probably a choice that's better with more players. But like that's my biggest misgiving of adventure games and dungeon crawlers and like all of their tropes and whatever. If you're playing with fewer people, you have to be a tank or you simply lose. That's poor game design. And I'm not saying that that's the case here, but it is the case in a lot of places, and it does feel like that's definitely been an impact here. The particular characters I got are ones that are, you know, the vibe seems to be that they're on the weaker side, that other people have had this exact same problem I have where like I have these attack patterns, but they just are functionally useless. I usually can do 1 damage. It doesn't matter. If I roll a 1, I do nothing. If I roll anything else, I get to do 1 damage, sometimes 2. Whereas if my character would just attack like this, I'd get to do consistently 2, often 3, right? But too bad I picked the wrong characters or something. I don't know. Like, anyways, overall, I feel really conflicted about this. I just want to experience the game more. But the combats, the system is interesting, but it has sort of these goalposts, or not goalposts, but like parameters that like prevent it from being fun. Dying in 1 hit is never a fun gameplay mechanic. Period. Right? Like I'm almost gonna die and the next hit will kill me and it's tense. Cool. I didn't get a turn yet and I'm dead because reasons. Bad. But that's definitely present in this game. Like strongly present. Right? My boy Slake here will die in 1 shot. Like it's happened repeatedly, right? Most enemies, most of the time, get enough threat that they're doing 4 damage. He has 4 health, right? I have to roll a die to see if they hit his armor, but in practice, we've only saved health from armor like 4 or 5 times total in the entire campaign. It almost never has done anything ever. And it one-shots him. That sucks. That's bullshit, right? Like, it's not fun. I've been playing a lot of Defenders of the Wild. 2 characters won the game, the next 2 lost in a few rounds, so it makes sense. Yeah, I have Defenders of the Wild, and I'd like to get it to the table, but I have yet to do it. I've read the rules. I'm excited about it. Anyways, I'm going to stop ranting, but I'm at this weird crossroads where it's like, I might pack this Arydia campaign up and do away with it, because I feel like I could modify this to make the combat fun, but I don't want to do that. I already did that. I already re-rolled 1s, and I cheated explicitly. I got top decked the all threats card and I got rid of it, right? Or all foes rather. You know, despite those things, it doesn't feel tense and satisfying like I'm being clever or something. It feels like I have to be lucky or I lose in a really unsatisfying way. I don't want to do that. I don't want to invest another 30 hours in that. And maybe I'll get some items soon and then things will be better. But like, I went everywhere I can on the map. There's nothing I can buy. You kind of just have combat thrust upon you, and then the combat's exceptionally hard. I don't know what else to say. It's just like that isn't fun. The combat system with these cool things where you get to, you know, oh, you can be really clever about how you attack this guy, and you know, if you know, whatever. Oh, except that none of my characters can hit any of those points, and it doesn't matter, and I just don't get to use that mechanic ever. Cool. Oh, and if the boss, like if they randomly, you know, you happen to draw a card that activates them so that they move, well, guess what? You died. Game's over for you because you existed. I don't know, man. Anyhow, the good news is it was fun. The combat when you're in it is fun. It feels like I have a puzzle to solve. It's just that it feels like what happens if you make a mistake or and it doesn't even feel like I'm making mistakes. That's the thing. It feels like I have very few options. I'm just more going through the motions of what I can do. I tried really aggressively to cheese the fuck out of this and just like constantly be moving and not be adjacent. I never once took a damage from characters being adjacent to each other. Maybe one time it happened. The one time we died and we used a boon or whatever, right? But it's like I went out of my way to limit my damage, move more, kite, use my shitty ranged weapons. It wasn't fun to do that, but I was trying to like solve this puzzle. It still didn't work. And it wasn't close. It wasn't like, oh yeah, now I get it. There's nothing to get here. You know, it's just, no, you're going to get kicked in the teeth. And if you ever end a turn within 6 range of an enemy, you will get one tapped. P.S. The board is a 10 by 10 grid. So almost everywhere on the map is within 6 range. Just shoot me. Def sounds like it's a 4-player only game. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely reviews out there for solo play where people say that it's fine. Like, but it's the sort of thing where it's like, I suspect if I was playing as a tank character where I don't get one tapped, my experience would be quite a bit different, right? But I'm not, and I don't want to. And I should be able to experience this. Like, that's character creation is one of the biggest strengths of this game. It's interesting. It's like you have options. So I should be able to explore those options and have fun doing it. And that's not the space that I'm in right now. The exploration is fun. The world is fun. The combat falls flat. And I hope that I'm doing something wrong, but I feel like I'm at this point where it's like, the only reason I'm investing more time and effort into figuring out combat is because I've already invested. It feels a bit like throwing good money after bad, right? If like, there's definitely other campaign games where I've simply or other games. If this was just a one-shot game, I would just never play it again. I'd happily sell it. I'd never think twice about it, right? And I'd think, man, that was like, that world building was fun, but I wish that combat was tuned differently. And maybe I'm just bad. Maybe I'm actually just horrible at gaming. Despite the fact that I've played games like this like for thousands of hours, I actually suck, and there's something I fundamentally don't understand. But that's still so at odds with what I think is the core purpose of this game, which is like open exploration, beginner friendly, you know, story driven, etc. All of those, and you actually have to be extremely proficient or you lose, feel like mutually exclusive, you know? Like, it just, I don't get it. I feel like there's some magic I'm missing here. So I'm going to try and do that. I'm not going to commit to whether I'm going to continue my Arydia campaign or not, because I'm going to try and see, can I figure out What's the magic that I'm missing? What is it that I am not understanding about this game, or that I missed in the combat rules, or something? Try and figure out what that is, and then give it another try. Or maybe, right? If I'm not missing anything, I don't think I want to give this another try. I think I want to shelve it, right? And it's committed some sins, some cardinal sins. Maybe we'll talk about them. But yeah, I'm not going to commit to whether I will try again or not. I'm going to put some time and effort into figuring out, did I make a mistake, basically? And we'll use that to determine what the go forward path is. So you didn't pick the options the designer wanted you to pick. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I think, like, you know, I come into this fight and I'm fighting 5 enemies. Okay. I am fighting 5 enemies that always, when any enemies activate, they all activate. Well, kind of. Let's talk about the previous fight. Let's just forget the boss exists for a while. Okay, I'm fighting 4 enemies. If one activates, they all activate. Is that going to be easier with 1 character or 4 characters? With 1 character, if we go through a full kind of round of play, the enemies have activated 4 times, and that character has activated 4 times. Fine. If I have 4 characters, the enemies have activated 4 times, and the individual characters have each activated once for a total of 4. So the fewer characters you have, the more turns each character gets in a given play. But what's not present there is that if I have only 1 character, I've activated 4 times, but if I ever took a hit, I got 1 tapped, I lost. Whereas if I played with 4 people and I ever took a hit, maybe one of my guys is dead, but I still have 3 others that are still standing. And those individually have done less, and they've been less able to move and avoid damage or whatever. But like, health is a resource in this game, and I'll take 20 health over 4 and think that changes the combat balancing, like, significantly, right? So anyhow, Blubbity blue blah, I found myself in a rant about Arydia and the combat system. Again, I feel like the writing's on the wall and that this game, rightly or wrongly, is not for me. I'm going to do my best to have that aha epiphany moment of, shit, I've been playing this thing wrong. I'm 10 hours into this campaign and I got this combat rule wrong every time, and it made it 3 times harder than it needed to be. I am waiting for that moment. I'm going to look and see, but I suspect that it's not there, and I don't want to slog. This is too much effort. I want to experience the world. I don't want it to be gatekept by, oh, I sniffled that, I moved into the wrong square that one time, so now I lose. Not fun. Not fun if the stakes were lower. If I get to try that twice in a 3-hour sitting, one wrong move you lose, is the stakes are too high for that, right? If I could try that again and it took me 5 minutes to get back into it, cool, fine, I died, it's hard, it's tuned, it's going to be difficult, we're gonna have to really try again and try, cool. If I was playing this properly, to do this scenario again, I would have to go to purgatory, get my boons back, save my game, rest my characters, start back in the exiles camp, travel 3 times, go through the point of interest, find the event, go all the way down here to this cave to do this scenario again. It would probably take an hour. There's no way, right? The stakes are too high. So, not masochist enough. It's true. I just, it turns out I like playing games to have fun, not to be punished. Whatever floats your boat, But for me, maybe I'm not good enough at games. I'm too bad to do it. But regardless, I will stop ranting now. I'm not sure if there's anyone to raid. Time Roller has been in here, which probably means he's not streaming, because he's often a target lately. Let's see what we got. Also, I feel like today's been just a weird stream. I missed this huge raid early because I was having technical problems. Really flubbed it. Felt badly. There is nothing super exciting going on that I see in the space right now. So we're gonna find somebody somebody else to raid. All right. BGG TV. I did that last time. I kind of hate rating BGG. Oh. You know, we're gonna do something bizarro, and we're gonna rate a mini painter. There's a couple on. I don't know. We're just gonna go somewhere for funsies. We're gonna go to Bunka Gaming. I followed this person at some point. I don't remember when or why, or hey, thanks for that follow, by the way. Yeah, anyways, we're gonna take our community over here on Twitch over to see some mini painting. Not really sure what to expect because it's been a while since I've been in this guy's stream, but anyways, regardless, we're gonna do that now. And yeah, thanks so much for being here, to our French friends we made earlier from that huge raid. Deeply appreciate you. Sorry that you came in at a very technically challenging time, which was unfortunate, but whatever. And yeah, we will see how Arydia goes. I'm not sure. I am skeptical. Maybe this just isn't the game for me. I'm going to try and, like I said, try and have an epiphany about something I'm doing wrong. But short of that, I think that I will wrap this one up because I got other campaign games that I want to play. So, you know, if we end up having to switch out Arydia and put some time in with the Elder Scrolls or something, that might be an okay change, right? So in any case, with that, we're going to go. Thanks so much for being here. I will be back on YouTube tomorrow night. Sarah and I are continuing working our way through the BGG Top 100, and I will be back Thursday morning here on Twitch and YouTube for Games with Grandma. So we will see you then. Thanks for being here, and see you soon.